Okay, last video for the review. We had done the plurality and I don't know what else single runoff and sequential runoff, and now we're going to do the board account. Okay, so in the board account, also called the point system, we will award each position a point value. So we're going to let first equal 4 points, second equal 3 points, and that information will be given to you. Third is 2 points, and fourth is 1 point. Okay, so notice what I did here is I split up the count sheet in, and I put in for each column. What I do for each of these is there are 30 votes in each of these. There are 30 votes in the first column. So we will have to assign the point value for each of them based on what place they got. In the second column, there are 13 votes. And again, we will assign the point columns. In the third one, there are 21 votes. Then there are 6 votes. And then in the last column, there are 17. Now, there are different ways that you can do this. If you want to go through and do all of A first, you can. Or you can do them by column. Notice each of these numbers is the same for each row, but these are going to be either a 1, 2, 3, or a 4, based on what place they got. So in the first column, A came in first, so they will get the 4 points for each of those votes. B came in third, so B will get 2 points for each of those 30 votes. C came in second, so C will get 3 points for each of those votes. And D came in last, so D will get 1 point. Now you just do this for the rest of the columns. Column 2, A came in 4th place, so gets 1 vote. B came in 2nd place, so gets 3 votes for each of the 3 points for each of the 13 votes. C came in 1st place, so gets 4 points for each of the 13 votes, and D came in 3rd place, so gets 2 points. And again, you just keep doing that. In column 3, A came in 3rd place, so A gets 2 points for each of the 21 votes. B came in 2nd place, so gets 3 points for each of the 21 votes. C came in 4th place, so gets 1 point, and D came in 1st place, so gets 4. In the next column, A came in 1st place, so A gets 4 points for each of the 6 votes. B came in 4th place, so gets 1 point for each of those. C came in 3rd place, so gets 2. And D came in 2nd place, so gets 3. Notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in each of the columns. And then the last column, A came in last place, so only gets 1 point per 17 votes. B came in 1st place, so gets 4 points. C came in 3rd place, so gets 2 points. D came in 2nd place, so gets 3 points. Now you just multiply and add up all the rows. So you get 216 here, 236 here, 209 for C, and 209 for D. So who is the winner? Of course, it is the one with the largest total here, so it is B. Okay. Then our last method is pairwise comparisons. And what that means is we compare every candidate to every other candidate. So we'll start out by comparing A, and we'll do A versus B, A versus C, and A versus D. And whoever came in higher will get the points for that. Okay, so if we look at this, if we're considering just A and B, in the first column, A gets the 30 votes. In the second column, B came higher than A, so B gets the 13. B gets the 21. A gets the 6. And B gets the 17. So we have 36 and we have 51. So B is the winner here. Then I go back and do A versus C. A gets the 30. C gets the 13. A gets the 21. A gets the 6. And C gets the 17. So we have 30 and we have 57. So A wins that contest. A versus D. A gets 30. D gets 13. D gets 21. A gets 6. And D gets 17. So we have 36 and we have 51 and D wins. Okay. So for just A wins 1 out of the 3 contests. Okay. Now we go back and do the same thing with B. We do B versus A, B versus C, and B versus D. Well, B versus A, we've already done that. So from above, B wins. But now we can go back and look at our chart. So for B versus C, here C gets 30, C gets 13, B gets 21, C gets 6, and B gets 17. So we have 38 and we have 49, so C wins. B versus D, B gets the 30, B gets the 13, D gets the 21, D gets the 6, and B gets the 17. So without counting them up, I can see that B wins that contest. So out of the 3, B wins 2. Okay. Well, now let's do C versus A, C versus B, and C versus D. Well, C versus A we've already done, so from above, A won. From C versus B, from above, C won. So now I just have to calculate C versus D. So in the first column, C came out on top, so that's 30 plus 13. D came out on top here. D came out on top here. And D came out on top here. So I have 43, and this is 44, so D won. So C wins 1. They only won 1 head-to-head contest. Now the cool thing is by the time you get to D, you've already done them all. So for D versus A, D versus B, and D versus C, you've already done them. So D versus A was D, D versus B was B, and D versus C was D. So D wins 2. Okay, is there a winner, if any? No. B and D are tied. Okay. All right, well, let's see if there is a clear winner based on everything we've done. Okay, so for the single runoff, D won that one. For the sequential runoff, B won that. For the board account, B won. And for the pairwise, B or D. So, and I'm sorry, you couldn't see that. Is there a clear winner? I would say B pretty much got it. I think if your candidate was D, that you would want to argue that there was not a clear winner. If you were supporting B, I think you would say that B was the clear winner. But either way, that's kind of a judgment call. Okay. But the important part is getting this. And as you approach the test, make sure you show all your work. Make sure that we can see if you did something wrong, why. Was it an addition error or was it a procedural error? That makes a whole lot of difference. Okay, so I'll get these posted momentarily, and good luck.